Join your host, Des Hamilton, to find out exactly how to say goodbye to being poor and hello to being rich.
Yeah, I think you're dead right, mate. I can't say enough nice things about that, building up your own social profile, building up your own social media channels, especially if you found someone that talked to you through social media. So say, for example, you saw what I was doing and the pain points that I felt down in the southeast, you're feeling them up in the northeast. You know what I mean? The exact same ones. You are my ideal target market, mate. When I wrote down who's my target market, it's you and your family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then there still aren't enough of us. There's still only a handful of us of our generation telling people there is an opportunity for you.
Yeah.
And there's a market, mate. There's a market.
And it doesn't have to be a life-changing, all full in like I've committed myself to. It can be just do a little bit and make 200 quid a month, because that's a huge chunk of money to help with the bills and make life a little easier.
I've got a post going out today on paid surveys saying exactly that. Look, you just get 150 quid a month. Imagine what that does for your Christmas. You know what I mean? Because it's nothing. It's nothing. And this is the other thing. So when you open up TikTok, when you and I were in our research mode, and all you saw were the young kids, the 20, 25-year-olds in Dubai on holiday, private jets, sipping champagne. I'm thinking, I don't want any of that.
No.
I don't want any of that. Fair play to them. But no, I want to pay the mortgage. I want a nice kitchen extension. I would love to have a gardener. You know what I mean?
Not only not interested in that, but you don't know what it's like to have kids and a mortgage. How can you tell me what to do and how to build my life? You've no idea.
Right. Exactly right.
You're probably still living with your mum, paying £100 a month on rent, and then you just off on holidays constantly. So no, completely unrelatable. So that was kind of like one of the things. Was like, well, if I found someone like Des to listen to, maybe someone will find me worth listening to, and that will start them on their story. And
that's the thing, Russ. And they have, mate.
And I get people telling me all the time, thanks for sharing. You've helped me. I'm going to start. I've put people into touch with your community and pushed them into other places as well to kind of help and better themselves. And hopefully they've taken it and run with it.
Definitely, mate. Definitely. I know you and I have spoken about this, and I can see the value in you because we all talk about the people that we think are going to make it, and I know that it freaks you out when someone says you're going to make it, because it freaks me out. Yeah. It's just a foregone conclusion. You think, well, what if I don't? How dare you say that?
And people are so blasé about it. It's like, well, of course you're going to make it. It's like, what? I don't know that.
I know. This is what I've been faced with. But I know, Warren saw it as well, and what Warren and me talk about what you're going to be doing as well. So
I've heard about these conversations.
It's weird, isn't it? But no, I do love it. It's really interesting because we aren't the only ones. I mean, Buybot reached out to you. You'd only been going a few months before Buybot Pro reached out, didn't they?
Yeah. So again, an advantage of building that social media channel was Matt reached out to me from the Buybot team and was like, really like what you're doing, because I was talking about I'd moved over from the Be Cool repricer over to Profit Protector Pro, and I'd found success with it. So I was, as I do, telling people what my strategy on repricing was, what targets I'd set my prices to be at, and my profit margin, and was kind of exploring some of the new features of Buybot Pro and just talking about it because, like I said, if it helps me, it might help someone else. And so, they reached out and was like, we'd love to arrange a conversation. So I was like, great, maybe I'll get an affiliate link. So arranged a call with them, and he was like, here's an affiliate link. We've cancelled your subscription cost. Here's all our other software. Here's all the affiliate links. Off you go, kind of thing. And I was like, what? That's what? I mean, I walked downstairs to the wife. I was just like in shock, and she's like, did it not go well? And I was like, I got free stuff, like free stuff that will really help, and it's a lot of money, and
it's like 50 quid a month
to do is do what I'm doing anyway. And it was just, and it was. I mean, I've spoken to you about it before. It's just, it's mad that they think I'm supporting their business enough just by talking about it. And there's obviously, they're seeing the people reacting and interacting with my stuff. And they want me to keep talking about it. And I'll only keep talking about it because I keep using it because I like it and it works.
Well, it's easy content, isn't it?
Yeah.
And at the same point, mate, it's one of those, one of my affirmations, daily affirmations is people see the value in me. People love to give me money. People love to give me opportunities because they see the value in you, mate. This is it. Eventually, the why is it me that stops. Honestly, I promise you, because I've been having it literally the tick marketing thing many times. But what is it that I'm doing? And then I sit down and think about it. I go, no, I'm pretty good. Yeah, that would do. You know what I mean? Well, it's one of those.
Funny enough, Jack followed me this morning, and I'm like,
did he?
God, oh no, it's okay. That's because I'm putting value out and I'm promoting stuff, and he sees the value in it. It's okay. That's fine. I don't have to change anything. He's liked it because of what I'm doing. I don't have to do anything different to make him like it. It's fine. What I'm doing is good.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Definitely the real one, the verified
because it
one.
would have been that would have sent me spiraling before.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah.
And listening to your affirmations every night in my headphones because of Lydia's stuff. So yeah, I go to bed listening to my own voice every night now.
Oh, I love it. No, it's brilliant. But you did right, mate. It was one of those moments because funny enough, where you had Matt reach out to you, I had Al from Cellaramp reach out to me, and you get off the phone and you think, I've just had Bible Bro, Cellaramp SaaS. They've just reached out and had a chat with me.
Yeah.
And then you start thinking, yeah, okay, I've got this for free, I've got this for free, I've got this for free, and you think, hang on a minute, that's about $3,000 a year that they've just saved me.
Yeah.
And people used to say to me all the time,
wage.
Yeah, people used to say to me all the time, what software are you using? You haven't put your expenses in for your software on your spreadsheet. And I'm thinking, I haven't got any. That's why. And I couldn't say it. Even, ridiculous. But, but mate, it's amazing how far you have come. So when we talk about the Amazon stuff, what challenges have you found in scaling?
So it always comes back to the same thing for me, and that's time. Like, just being so busy, trying to juggle everything, and I still want to be at home, picking up my daughter and running around the living room playing as much as I can, and watching episodes of Bluey and Snuggles, and the whole.
This is where you tell me she's 36, right?
Yeah, that's what I do instead of the gym. So, but no, I'm very conscious of not being present as a dad. Growing up with a dad who wasn't present, and now maybe twice a year I maybe speak to him. Like, there's no relationship, and it's not a good situation for anybody. And we'd gone through a hell of a journey getting my daughter as well. I don't talk about this as much, but our daughter was an IVF child. We had 6 years of trying, lost pregnancies, and she was actually our last embryo of our last cycle of IVF that we could have.
Wow.
So she was the Hail Mary. Oh,
mate, having all of the problems you had when she was so young, and that would have been weighing on your mind as well, wouldn't it?
So it's been a long old time desperately wanting to have a child, and it being taken away from us through no fault of our own. And then she's here. She's our miracle baby. Like, literally, like, thanks to the team. It was the Centre for Life in Newcastle. Unbelievable place. Like, they're so good. And anybody who down talks the NHS, go through something like that, or go through something like what Natalie's gone through. You cannot undervalue them enough. So she was so desperately wanted, and then she's come, and I am so busy, and it's like I've got to do something to make sure that I'm around as much as I possibly can be, because I adore it. I adore her, and I adore being a dad, and I adore the family time. It's what I want to do, and it's the whole reason I keep pushing myself is to get more of that.
Yeah.
But that does conflict with scaling an e-commerce business, because it does take more of your time, no matter what you do. So yeah, implementing automations has been a big part of me building up, and I've done that from really early on. So probably way earlier than I would have done otherwise, and because they were launching as a new prep center, I signed up with the Skewific team, who actually are linked with the Buybot team as well. But I signed up with them when they launched because it was a really good offer, really low monthly cost, and low prep cost as well, and that took obviously all the prep away from me. So that freed up loads of time, because there was lots of late nights covered in the little strippy bits off of poly bags, watching reruns of Top Gear by myself at 2:00 in the morning, knowing I've got to be up at 6 to get the baby sorted before I go to work. And it was just like, this can't keep going. So that was implemented nice and early. Then things like the repricer, I started obviously by paying for it. That changed like we talked about, but
yeah,
that financial investment freed up more hours because I didn't have to keep checking in on the computer on the repricing. And with the Profit Protector Pro, you can put the automations in. So now I can really automate it. So here's my starting price. If it hasn't worked and it's not sold, change it to this strategy. If it's selling too much, change it to this strategy. Obviously, that took quite a while to set up, but now that just runs. So anytime I buy new stock, I just automatically add it to Profit Protector Pro. It starts away on the starting option, and then it just goes through a flow chart, and I just leave it be. Then obviously getting to know Warren, going through his mentorship and being part of his membership and being in that little community of people who are really wanting to succeed and are succeeding.
Good people in that group as well.
Oh, it's great. Putting our heads together, coming up with answers, coming up with better ideas, having live video calls of an evening. We've got our midnight sourcing club. So, because it started with me, Riley, who'd come through your stuff, and Warren having a video call at midnight one night discussing one product because we were unsure on this keeper chart. So it all kind of started from that. And we just constantly bounce ideas back and forth, jump on a video call. Right, let's try this with some keeper filters. And there's some really clever people in there who've come up with semi-automatic ways of doing the sourcing through keeper, and then you put in this and put in that. And we're just constantly trying ideas. So that's streamlining that process as well. And now I'm looking at the possibility of introducing an admin VA to take off the admin side of stuff, because that's now kind of my sticking point. So that's how I'm kind of handling the scaling issue, is by handling everything that I've done up to now and streamlining it all, just so I can keep us the same amount of time to invest in this business as I've always put into it, without overtaking everything else in my life.
Yeah.
But everything that I've built up to now kind of takes care of itself and requires minimal or smaller amount of input by myself.
This is brilliant, mate. And this is where I think you have so much value, is that you don't go gung-ho into something. You plan it, you research it, you network it, you chat about it before you pull the trigger. How many people go, right, this is going well, I'm going to get a prep center and I'm going to outsource my sourcing.
Yeah.
And you think, no, it's not the sourcing that needs outsourcing. It's the admin. It's the admin that slows you down and surprises you. You're dead right, mate. First thing you can do is get an admin VA. Definitely.
And I've just come back, as you know, from 2 weeks holiday in Florida, and I just let it run. I didn't really do anything. I had to check in, make sure I hadn't had a Section 3 that was all kicking around.
Yeah, of course.
Stranded inventory, that kind of stuff. But everything that I was checking in and just keeping an eye on, it was admin stuff. And now I've come back and all the catch-up work is admin stuff.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of put it straight in the spotlight. It's like, this is the next thing. This is the one that needs addressing.
Definitely.
So, that's what we're kind of looking at now, and been having conversations with a couple of people and seeing what we can work out and stuff. So,
yeah.
And I think it's helped as well. Like I said earlier, I've not taken a penny out of this business. I don't rely on any of the money from it. So if I have to spend £100 a month on something, that's just another business investment. That's not £100 out of my pocket. That's just part of the business cost. And it's just this thing that's just churning and churning and churning. And I just take a little bit out and put it into something that makes that churning a bit better.
Exactly right. It's one of those, right? If you know you can make, say, 50 quid an hour of your own time, if you were to spend an hour in your business, you could make 50 quid of it. If you then can hire an admin VA that can take an hour away for £20 an hour.
Exactly.
The question is, can you afford not to scale up? You know what I mean?
Because you still make money, but now you've got time alongside with it. That's
it. So you're actually making more money in hiring somebody because you can make more money with that same time. Yeah. It's a proper no-brainer.
And it's building that better foundation so that when I do start going up, it goes up really quickly and sustainably and solidly, and I can just take out whatever I want as I want, and it will just keep building and building and building.
Exactly. A lot of the time when I get asked a question, how do I scale? I usually throw it back, well, what is your business plan saying? What are your goals? What does scaling look like for you? What is success for you? Is it more time or is it more money? Because if you don't know which one of those it is, then how can you scale accordingly? Yeah. If you want to get your time back, that's when you use an admin VA. If you want to get more money, then you need to start thinking about your strategy to get there. How much money do you need? How much more month? Exactly that,
Exactly.
like you said, mate. But people don't seem to get that. They seem to think, right, scaling up, that will make my business bigger, but no one can really quantify that.
No.
It's definitely a factor, but this is where, again, whether it's our generation, mate, I don't know. I don't want to blanket our generation
I
as
think
being
it's
savvy.
just-
That's not fair.
I think you reach a certain point and you know what you want. I think that's
Yeah.
what it comes down to. Like, I don't want millions. I want a business that can pay for all of our bills and give me time to enjoy life. You know, it doesn't have to be the private jet and the Lamborghini. It can just be, and to be honest, it's an advantage of being a public sector worker. I don't have a massive wage to kind of take over, you know, and
No,
we
that's true.
survive.
And you know
we've
you've
got
got
our mortgage on a smaller income now, so it doesn't have to be massive to cover that. And then
that's it. And you've got a fairly decent pension coming over the hill.
not so much anymore.
Oh, firefighters, yeah, fair enough, yeah.
Used to be all right. I mean, it's still better than a lot of people. I'm still very
In the
fortunate.
private sector, yeah, it is, yeah. It is.
But like it's not a crazy number that I need to somehow replicate in my free time to be able to free me from that every hour of every day situation that I've been stuck in.
Yeah.
Just
definitely.
knowing what I want, and like you said, being slightly older, you figure it out by the time you're in your 40s.
You do. We've got a sort of situation now where we have got that. To be fair, our bills are covered quite nicely, including our sort of wages, and we've got all of the time we want. But now it's about getting the nice stuff. You know what I mean? These opportunities coming down the road, mate. This TikTok shop affiliate thing, it's going to be insane.
Wild. It's absolutely wild.
How are you finding it?
Good. No, really good.
You don't have to say that because it's me, mate. I promise you.
No, I didn't make a sale yesterday, but before that, I had 5 days in a row with at least one sale. So I think I worked it out.
And you've been going, what, 2 weeks?
Less than, like 10 days. So about 50% of the time. So I've worked it out, and so far, like per video, I'm on about 35p.
Okay.
But you know,
it's brilliant.
Yeah, but again, it's just building. Like those videos are still going to be there. They've still got potential to kick off and earn money. Plus, I'm getting better at recording videos.
This is it, Russ, mate. For a 2 week experience, mate, you go onto the community and there's lots of people that aren't making sales. Let's not like paint it out to be, but the opportunity is there.
Yeah, and I think,
cool.
I think having already been on TikTok and being okay recording myself,
yes,
that was one big hurdle you see a lot of people talking about, and one that I didn't have. Obviously, they're very different types of videos, and it's a completely separate channel. I didn't want any kind of crossover between the two.
No, quite
and it's a completely different kind of skill set. It's a very, very specific. Grab the attention of a stranger and convince them that they want something.
Yeah.
Whereas my FBA stuff is literally just me rambling on while I walk the dogs. So yeah, very different. But yeah, that hurdle of I've got to put my face on camera and post it onto a platform with billions of people on, that doesn't bother me.
No.
No more than like less than other people, shall we say?
Yeah, exactly right. But mate, the admiration I've got for those people, because a lot of people join that community dead set on going faceless.
Yeah,
and we've managed to convince a lot of people to give it a go, and they're going to be, their confidence is going to be so much more improved as a result. And it's one of the
I mean, I
things
saw the post from Chris.
Yeah.
I was so awesome seeing him.
What a post, mate! What a post. I went to bed happy that night. You know, it's things like that. Because this is the thing with the old TikTok shop. It's not just about the money. It's about the growth you have as a person. Because, all of a sudden realising that you can persuade someone to buy something because you're telling them to. It's amazing. But by the time this episode goes out, we know that there's going to be more products. So basically what's coming down the road this week are three massive brands. And what we're going to do is separate out the cohort into three random separate groups. So everybody focuses on one brand.
Yeah.
And each brand has got a variety of products, you know what I mean? So whereas the original gang had Nutrition Geeks and built Nutrition Geeks to what it's been in the last 5 months, you guys will now have the opportunity to be the original gang of brand X.
Yeah.
And they're all massive sellers in America as well. It's going to be unbelievable.
And I mean, credit to you and everything you've done. That's why I was so desperate and determined that I was joining this community. And I messaged you from Florida saying, I'm flying back when it opens. How do I sign up? Because I knew that you and Luke would put together something that had that opportunity and that potential for us, and I wasn't gonna miss it. So
No, mate, it would have taken something pretty big to take me away from the Amazon stuff,
Yeah.
And I was,
Oh, I know that.
and I'm still with the Amazon stuff. Just at the moment, my focus is a little bit all over the place.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we've always said, like, spread your risk wide, not deep, and spreading your stock across Amazon FBA is reducing the risk on that particular stock, but you're still then reliant on Amazon.
Yeah.
We've seen so many times it's so easy for them to just take that away. So you've got to spread that amongst other things as well. So, you've got your eBay store for getting rid of your old stock. You've got your social media channels to build up opportunities that way. And this is just another thing to add to it. But it all comes under that one blanket kind of business of making extra money through the
exactly
internet.
right, mate. And as well that I often talk about. Look, if you're an entrepreneur, Amazon is one thing. Yeah, absolutely. But at the same point, you need to be ahead of the curve and network to the point where you can see opportunities coming down the hill before everybody else sees them. That, and to see that play out, and to see me go, no, I'm going to pivot now.
Yeah.
It was,
Well, I mean, one of the things from the TikTok thing, is find a viral video and copy it, because it's proven to work. Just do it. Well, that applies to everything. Find a successful person and copy them. Whatever Des is doing, I'm going to do, because Des is making loads of money now. So, he's not working. I'm going to do the same because he's got what I want. So
yeah, I'm copying Jack. That's exactly
it's just find the person who's doing what you want to do and copy what they do. Tag along, introduce yourself, and see if you can come along for the ride, because
man,
that's opportunity.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And it's amazing, isn't it? What a life, Russ.
I know. And it keeps coming back to it. As much as we've convinced ourselves that we're worthy of it and we deserve it, and the opportunity and the money and everything else is there for us to take, it's still mad.
Yeah, it is. It is. But what I've really noticed, though, especially now I've left the job, is that people now know that this is me. You know what I mean? People are, again, the whole foregone conclusion, Des is going to make it. That was always from my peers or people that had already done it, not my mates or my family, my parents especially, who still don't understand what it is I do.
No.
But beforehand, it was, oh, you're going to leave your job. Oh, hang on a minute, you ready for that? Oh, hang on, can you do that? Can you do that? Is this just another thing that Des is doing? Now, they get it. You know what I mean? It's like, this is it almost defined me now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is.
What did the fire service think? Have you been telling people?
A few people. I've told the watch that I'm on now that I sell on Amazon, because if I can, I'll be talking about it or whatever, and looking at things on my phone, or so they know I've got fingers in pies, and they ask, so you can explain a little bit, and they're interested and they want to know about it, but similar, they don't fully understand it. But it's only the ones that are like I directly work with, that are my friends, that I would explain it to. The rest, no, I just quietly crack on with it in the background and keep everything separate as much as I can. Apart from one guy who I was trying to introduce to get going on FBA, he's one of my really good mates. He found me on TikTok because he was watching the same kind of stuff, and he came going, oh, look who I found. But no one else knows about the social media stuff. It's just another thing they don't need to know about that.
No, so, exactly, mate. Yeah, exactly.
But
I didn't really tell people.
Compartmentalize everything. So, I had a message the other day from someone in Warren's group who didn't even know I was in the fire service. He just thought I did dog walking and I was building up the e-commerce stuff, and I was like, oh no, I've got a full-time job as well.
Mate, I love it. Brilliant. So what's your next goal?
So next goal is to get the admin side of the FBA stuff automated as much as possible. And then I want to focus on the TikTok side of stuff, keep building that up, keep improving that. And I'm now starting to introduce unique bundles. So that will
very nice.
Add in the next level on top of the arbitrage stuff that I've been sticking with. I did look at it before. I joined the Hive with Natalie for a couple of months. Just didn't have the capacity to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because the arbitrage side of stuff, which is kind of now what I would call the bread and butter, was just taking up so much time. I didn't have that capacity. Whereas now things are a bit a bit more sorted. So now I'm going to dip my toe back into that. So I'm just going through some of the training. I've joined Luke Colwell's community. He teaches bundles as well.
Yeah, he does, yeah. And he learned from Natalie.
Yeah, so now I'm going to kind of get myself involved with that. I've set myself a goal for once I finish going through the videos and the training, I'm going to launch at least one. Well, I'm going to launch one bundle a week for the first month, and then 2 bundles a week for the second.
Nice.
3 bundles a week, and then I'm at the end of the year, and then we'll see how things have gone and see how I want to build up from that.
Yeah, love it, mate. Great strategy. So, I suppose what's left, mate, is what one bit of advice that you may not think we've covered enough today. What sort of one bit of advice would you want to definitely get across?
I mean, we've mentioned plenty of it, but just that there's so much opportunity out there. Just find something that appeals to you.
That's it.
Like, find something that resonates with you. You don't have to be good at it, but you have to enjoy learning it. Nobody started good at anything. Like, well, whoever I look at, and this is FBA or not FBA, whatever it is. I even used to look at it when I was going through the promotion process in the fire service. Well, if he can be a watch manager, I can be a watch manager.
Exactly.
He's got nothing that I haven't got. And so I look at FBA stuff. Well, if he can make 10 grand a month in profit, I can make 10 grand a month in profit. He's got nothing that I haven't got other than he started earlier than me. He's just put more time in. Well, I can't change any of that, but I can learn from him. I can shorten the time I'm going to have to spend to get to that point, but I can get to that point. And then if I can get to that point, well, I can get to the next point. I can get to the next point. So don't rule anything out just because you think the people ahead of you are so successful that you could never get to that point. You can, but you're not going to go from A to Z. You know, there's lots of little steps in between, and everyone else has taken those steps. So just find out from the people who've done it what those steps were, what the difficulties in achieving those steps were, and copy. Like I say, copy them.
Put the yards in. Yeah, exactly right. And if you network nicely enough, they'll give you the answers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, don't go expecting anything. But just like I said to you, you know, I've reached out to people who've been on your podcast and gone, really enjoyed listening to you. Thank you. Yeah, that's it. Like, I don't expect anything in return, but some of them have progressed into full-on conversations and chats and other potentials and possibilities and stuff, and others have been just thanks or a blank nothing reply. But
yeah,
I mean it when I reach out and say I really enjoyed listening to you. You know, it's just put yourself out there. Like I said, I struggle with confidence, and I've had issues and I've self-doubts and all that kind of stuff. But just put yourself out of the comfort zone and just introduce yourself.
Well, it comes full circle as well, mate. If somebody with confidence issues and self-doubts can network, what's your excuse? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Amazing. I completely agree as well. You've got to find something that doesn't feel like work.
You can't understate the importance of the networking stuff.
No,
you know, like I said, it's all one thing is speaking to those people who are above you and ahead of you and where you want to get to, but also speak and create groups with your peers. Join a community like I did with yours. I mean, I recommend yours to everybody because I think it's a fantastic community. Not just the resources that you provide, but just the support and the vibe that's in that place. Everyone's really supportive. You don't allow the spammy direct messages and stuff. It's a safe space to come and learn and dip your toe into the water.
Mate,
so that's why I always recommend it to people.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud that we've done it twice. The TikTok one has got the same vibe about it.
Well, I mean, I'd say 3 times because the VIP group as well is the same.
The VIP group, it's true.
But put yourself into a community like that where there's people going through the same struggles as you are, and be active in that community. Put yourself out there, talk. You don't have to answer questions, ask questions, because inevitably someone later down the line will ask the same question. You can be like, "Ooh, I've got an answer. That someone told me this and that really helped me." Or someone told me this and it did not work. So, you know, it doesn't take long before you start to get the knowledge and the experience that can help someone else. And it just snowballs from that. But just, put yourself somewhere with other people and be active with it.
Definitely.
You know, I've chatted to so many people that have come through your community and Warren's community and stuff. And there's so many different WhatsApp chats going on and Facebook Messenger and all sorts. But it's constantly improving everybody that's in it. You know,
that's it. If it wasn't providing value, people wouldn't stay. That's exactly right.
And you don't know where those relationships will take you. You don't know what opportunities are going to come your way. Like you said, you might get a message come through from the BuyBot Pro team saying, we want to have a chat with you. And all of a sudden, something's happening, you know?
That's it. This is it. This is how me, Luke, and Jack found this thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just the way we do it. Right, mate. Last but not least, Russ, where can we find you?
So, TikTok, I'm Honest FBA, or lurking in your Facebook groups, usually kicking around in there.
Love it. What I'll do is I'll put your tag
FBA is my channel.
Nice. Yeah, I'll put your tag in the show notes so people can come find you. Everyone give Russ a follow. While he's walking his dogs, he drops some bangers. Right, mate. I think we'll call it a night there, mate. Thank you so much for coming on. Really interesting.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
No problems. And when you hit that milestone, mate, get yourself back on it.
Will do.
Cheers, Russ. Bye, mate.
Thank you, Dave.
You've been listening to the 200 to 100,000 pounds challenge podcast. Make sure you join us next time for more real talk and some undoubtedly terrible jokes as Des gets ever more closer to saying goodbye poor, hello rich.